Welcome to Beyond Our Focus. I'm Stefan, this is Amanda, and this is Unlocking the Beyond, where we delve into the unknown and try to answer your questions. This is our very first episode of our brand new audio-only podcast that we're testing out. We'll see how it goes. If y'all like it, let us know down in the comments below. If you do not, if you actually want to see our ugly mugs, let us know that too. We can arrange that. But we're testing this out. We're going to see how it works out. Today, we're going to be asking... Did we ever decide what we were going to be asking? How we were phrasing it?
Not really, but I do... I do know that today's topic dives into the supernatural realm.
Yes.
And we were playing with ghosts and spirits. And so I want to say that the question you brought up is, assuming that ghosts and spirits do exist, is it possible for them to phase through walls? Should they be able to phase through walls?
Yes, as spirits as we know them, or ghosts as we know them. The age-old question, not even question, but the age-old tale of ghosts. When people talk about ghosts, they're see-through, and they go through things, and...
Yeah, like if you think about Casper. The old Casper movie. I mean, he went through everything. Occasionally he got stuck, like where it kind of had to wiggle out to like...
Because that makes sense.
I don't know. But then it also... Because what we do is we actually did look into these things. Like, actually try to find scientific reasons why they could, why they couldn't.
I think that really is where this goes in. We're asking we're delving into interesting questions and trying to see if scientifically possible, or at least the science we have now, if it's possible in science to do these things that they're doing. Or if there's enough reasonable doubt that, maybe science doesn't say so, we still think, in our non-scientific opinions, that it is.
Yeah. And one of the things that just hopping right into it, one of the things that I ran into the most is people asking, because I did look up originally, hey, ghosts walking through walls. Just trying to branch into that real quick, just to see what other people did before I saw the science side.
There's some fun stuff in there.
Yes, there was. And some of the main questions that came up were, okay, how can they phase through walls? How can they go through walls, but they don't fall through the floor? Or how do they phase through walls, but are able to knock on objects or knock things over?
Well, because you really can't be both.
Yeah.
You either can go through walls, or you can interact with things.
And that's the thing. That's one of the things that I ran into. But I did find people who were able to scientifically, I'm doing quotation marks, able to explain that.
Okay, well, go into yours, and then I won't have a counterpoint if you don't touch on it.
Okay. What I found while researching at least that point was that it had to do with energy. It had to do with the amount of energy it takes to actually push and touch objects. And so the thing is that in a natural, I guess, low state, they'd be able to walk through anything, go through anything, things would go through them, but with a certain amount of energy built up, they could push, they can knock. And that's why some people during their investigations and everything, I keep doing quotation marks like you can't see me, but
I'm so used to doing video podcasts. But we have audio, of course, audio as well, but we're so used to the video aspect. Yeah. You got to look right for the video.
But in their investigations and everything, where it was it took a lot for them to encourage these spirits to actually communicate back. And how people explain that, their reasoning behind it was because of how much energy it actually takes to react to this realm, to this plane of existence. And so if the spirit doesn't have that energy built up, it can't answer you. If that spirit doesn't want to answer you, it's not going to sit there and try to find ways to build up this energy to knock on the door just to please you, especially if you're a dick. But But that was one of the main things I found out as far as like people asking why can they do this but not this, as it had to do with the amount of energy the spirit has. Someone also brought up about like where that energy comes from, like where they get it from. And for me, that has a lot to do with the fact that I actually do believe in energy itself, as far as that is one of my belief systems, is everything has energy, everything has a spirit, everything interacts with each other, and that there's energy all around us. We pretty much are made of energy. So the fact that there is residual energy in an area, it would make sense for something, if it were to exist, to be able to draw that energy in. But that's at least on that point, that's what I found. But I mean, I do have more stuff, but you just had a counterpoint.
One of the small counterpoints that I also saw someone else, actually I saw two different sites bring up, which is interesting, because the phasing through, once again.
Yes.
If most of the time you say ghosts can phase through walls,
yes,
they have to gather energy to interact with things.
Yes.
All right, well, if you can phase through walls, that also means you could phase through the floor, you could phase into the ground, you could pretty much go anywhere you want.
Yeah.
But if you can't interact with anything, do you therefore apply to the laws of gravity? And if you do not, how do you stay with the Earth at all? With the Earth floating around the sun at how fast? So how does the ghost stick around, period? How does he? He's not affected by any of the energy that keeps us here. He's not affected by gravity that keeps us here. But somehow... Oh, that's weird. Okay, it just went off. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I didn't know it was going to do that.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to keep this short for y'all audio. That's what that was. It's been 5 minutes. We're trying to keep it reasonably short. But yes, how does said ghost phase through everything, but also because it can't interact with anything, how therefore does it stick around on the planet Earth anyway?
And something that I ran into that kind of, I wouldn't say counters that, but kind of plays with that a bit, is the fact that the realms of existence.
You mentioned realms a second ago, and I'm like, we can play with realms.
Realm, plane, whatever you want to call it. Just the outer existence. Like there's if you want to believe in parallel dimensions, there's... because one of the things that I actually found really cool that I stumbled upon was that people kind of separating time as well into its own existence. Meaning, if someone died in the 40s in a house, and their spirit is now on a loop. They can't leave that house. All they do is they pretty much relive a certain time in their life, or maybe their death, or whatever, over and over and over again. If that house is torn down, rebuilt in today's modern society, then that ghost that's just walking around in that same time loop may appear to be going through a wall, but in its plane of existence, which is still in the 40s, that was actually a door. So we see it as going through a wall, but it still sees itself going through a door.
Quick little side thing here. Are we seeing said ghost when it does these things? If the answer is yes, then therefore it has to be interacting with something in our plane, because if it's phasing through things, that also means that light and energy would have to hit it for us to process seeing it.
Yes. But then that also goes into people... You have manifestations, which are the actual picture image of that person, of that ghost, of that whatever it was. And then you have orbs, which is just the little ball of energy that you see.
I don't see anything.
Remember, this is
I don't know what ball image you're referring to.
Oh, okay. Well,
I know Dragon Ball Z, and on there's little ghost little fellas, and like maybe that's what we're talking about.
Okay, a lot of people when they come up, like when they do investigations and everything like that, you see in pictures that they show, in videos that they show, they talk about orbs, which is usually a little ball of light that just shows up. Sometimes they're see-through, sometimes they're really strong. Of course, people have all kinds of explanations for them, dust particles, like light reflections off everything else. it's just a manifestation of energy, and that's all it is. It's just a little ball. But people have seen, air quotes, these little balls of energy go through the walls. So you're not actually seeing an entire person walk through the walls like in the movies.
But it
and
also
like
comes
Casper.
down to if
Yes.
we can phase through that,
Yeah.
can light therefore hit it, therefore would we be able to see it anyways?
Yes.
Because if it's phasing through a wall, that means it's going through something, which means it's not interacting with what we know.
Yes.
Therefore, if light's not hitting it, our eyes therefore cannot perceive it because that's how our eyes work.
Yes. So then we go into the science side. I don't know how much you found on the science side of this.
I don't know. I mean, continue
okay.
on. I will continue. You're
Okay.
doing a great job leading the show. You're doing good. Good job.
Okay. The science side that I found about this was called quantum tunneling.
Okay.
And it's a process.
I know a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know much at all. This is all big sciencey stuff that I was not able to properly prepare for.
We are trying for y'all. Okay?
Yeah.
We're trying very hard. Okay.
So this could all be misinformation, and I'm really sorry about that. But
If you know more,
Yeah.
please go to. I'm going to say, even if you're listening to this in audio on any one of the random sites that we happen to be on, go to YouTube, go to Twitter, go to Facebook. These are the places we actually check and look at and can actually read your comments the right way. Go to one of these places and leave a comment of why and how and what you know and what you want to explain, because we'd love to hear from you.
And we'd also love to hear where you are coming from. Because if there is a podcast service that you would like to interact with us on,
We got 5 minutes.
but are not currently able to talk to us, let us know so we can hop on over there and talk to you.
And try to figure it out, yes. And if there's a large audience in any particular of our podcast areas, or even a small audience at this point, knowing where you're at would help us communicate and figure things out more so.
Yes. So just quickly throwing it out there, as far as the science side that I found with the whole quantum tunneling thing, it had to do with electrons, and it had to do with being able... I didn't know if it was the, whole vibration thing. Either way, it came down to the fact that they've been able to experiment on a very, tiny little molecular level. But as far as a full-grown person, they don't, because of the amount of energy it takes for an entire person, even if you were to try to do something like this, experiment with something like this, it'd take a very long time for you able to get through the wall or said object, and you may not even end up where you want to by the time you get to the other side. There's no guarantee that you're going where you're going, pretty much.
Yes. The last little bit that I've done, a little bit about maybe more about actually making it work, would be someone posted, of course, could be false information. I hope it's not. I hope I'm not passing the wrong thing here. Was that if you travel twice as fast as the speed of light, you will become energy and be able to pass through whatever you would like.
Yeah.
Now, getting that fast and stopping again, very different things in all of these. But the fact that that could possibly work.
Yes. And that's the thing, is that I mentioned about the whole, the quantum tunneling thing, is because that's energy, because that's electrons, everything like that, and how you were saying, well, because if it is something we can see, it has to somewhat exist in our plane. Mm-hmm. Well, if it is just a little ball of energy, there is a chance it can move through something.
Well, I don't disagree with the moving through. I am only disagreeing with maybe the seeing and moving through at the same time. That's all I'm questioning.
Yeah. No, but being that, as I said, because they have their experiment, and like you said, the whole moving really fast like the Flash, which he doesn't go through stuff, does he?
No, he can.
Oh, he can?
He can.
Okay,
no, he can phase through things.
See, it's been a bit.
He can move so quickly and vibrate.
I'm so sorry,
stuff
but
that
it's
actually,
been a bit.
Truthfully, wouldn't necessarily, I don't think, work necessarily. Yeah. But still, yes, he can phase through things.
It's been a bit. I'm sorry. I follow.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm on the Marvel side, so I haven't really paid attention to much of anything. But anyways, so I think that ruling out all possibility of the fact, or the possibility of something we don't fully understand but is energy based in a sense, completely just ruling out that it's possible would be, I don't know.
So we coming to the end here, and the ultimate goal from the beginning is to give you some science facts that we've looked up to a degree that we feel pretty confident are fairly true, and seeing if we can answer this to the best of our ability.
Or botch it horribly.
Which is very possible, which y'all can easily correct us.
Yes, please do.
I have no doubt if anyone listens to this, they probably will.
Oh, yeah.
But our goal is to try to answer, in our opinion, not scientifically, but in our opinion, if we think the said thing is plausible in any way possible.
Yeah.
Assuming ghosts exist, do we think, in our opinion, they could phase through walls? Do we think there's a possibility that it could happen?
And I said because they're energy-based, I feel like it's a yes. At some point, some way, somehow, we may never be able to, but being that they're energy-based, I feel like it's a yes.
And I would agree that we understand that there are possibilities of something moving through other things, period. We know there is the possibility of that happening. We can make it happen on the smallest of levels. And if we can make that happen, the smallest of levels, and we know that there are possibilities of making that happen, period, who are we to necessarily say that something so foreign to us isn't possible as well?
Yeah.
So I would agree that it would be yes. So coming from us, it has the Beyond Our Focus seal of approval as yes. So we're saying yes. We're going to go with yes. We could be 1,000,000% wrong.
Oh, yeah.
This is opinion based.
Yes, it is very opinion-based. We do try to find things on both sides. It's like we're not trying to prove anything right or wrong. We're just opening ourselves to the possibilities, and while we're searching, picking out things on kind of both sides and just figuring out where it goes.
Because we want to believe. Now, we very much... It would be awesome if this other plane of existence or ghost or spirit, whatever it is, existed.
Yes.
We're not saying they do. We're not saying they don't. One of us believes probably a little more strong that they do, and one of us believes a little bit more strong that they don't. But the possibility is open either way.
Yes. And if you guys have any information, whether it's from either side, if you have a lot of background in science and want to talk to us about quantum tunneling and energy movement and all this stuff, or if you guys have a supernatural, paranormal investigation kind of background and you want to let us know about that side, I would love to hear it.
Yes, we would love to hear it. We've already mentioned where you could probably find us more easily.
Yes.
Also, this is our supernatural one. Next week will be extraterrestrial based. And the week after that will be cryptozoology. And the final week, on our 4-week rotating schedule, will be kind of whatever we decide. It's going to be not those 3, basically.
Pretty much, if by next episode, if by the cryptozoology episode, if you guys are like, hey, we have this question, that would be the perfect week for us to just dive right into it.
Exactly. Something different. Something, or by chance, by popular demand, maybe we pick up on one of the same topics again.
Yes.
But it'll be an off week, and we'll be able to explore other things than just those 3.
Yes.
So it'll be fun. I hope you all listen along with us. Any final closing thoughts before
I believe that is it. Can't wait to see how everyone reacts and see what they think and want to add into it.
Yes. So as always, you can reach me at Stars and Travels, reach Amanda at KZPup, reach the show at Beyond Our Focus on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and podcast services. Like the video, we'd appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel, we'd appreciate that even more. And comment wherever we can possibly see you.
Yes.
We'd prefer the 3, just so.
Like, even if you want to start out there, as we said, just...
We will move where you are, but we have to know you exist first.
Please phase through our walls. Not really, though, if you can, because I'm a little concerned about someone just popping through the wall at me.
No, if you can, please do it, because I want to see. I want to know it exists. I'm very interested. If you're Casper, please show up. I'd love to see.
Maybe send us a comment first, because...
No, just pop in. Scare the daylights out of us.
Okay.
And if you're popping in, again, I want you to pop through the wall.
Yes.
I want you to face. I don't want you to I don't want Kool-Aid Man popping through the wall. I want actually ghosting through the wall here.
Just burst through the wall.
Oh, yeah.
But no, if you want to be on our podcast, just walk through the wall. It's good.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, we get EVP on this thing.
Who knows? But till next time, long days and pleasant